mackerel in full song. Just doing a steady climb up now. Ferns are very brackeny looking, very brown here, aren't they? It's only August. I thought I heard a cow earlier as well, because that valley I sometimes go through, it could have cows in it. They're all looking for water. Yeah, we've got to go up here a little way and then we'll be back on the hills. Then I have to weave up round to get on the big hill and walk round the middle of it. It's waste. There was a path back there going somewhere, but I don't know it. I don't know where it would go. I'm going to get the maps out later and have a look, and I might do that another time. I always say that. I'd like to do it now, but because the weather's so dodgy, I think no, and I'm not quite sure where it goes. I have often thought it follows the very base of the hill round. I've often thought that. But until I get the map. I know you could get it on here, on this phone. I can't use one. We're coming up to Combe Cottage now. Looks like it's had a good old coat of paint, doesn't it? Been rendered. But it didn't always look like that. Combe Cottage one side, and what's the other side? I'll beware of the dog. Yeah, okay. Combe Croft. Oh yeah, Combe Croft. And oh, hello. Just right, everyone. We've reached a junction point. I came down that hill earlier, which is round the corner there. I'm going this way now, around the waistline of the big hill. I've just come up. I've been all the way round earlier in the rain over to CrookPeak and climbed on the top of it, came down its back, visited Compton Bishop and the church, had a little picnic on the bench there, then made my way up through the combe and then round and here. Now we're doing this nice lovely little walk round the waistline, but we came down that earlier. It's not the baseline, it's the waistline. But I've got this feeling there is a baseline. I saw this path, but I thought, oh, don't explore it today. But other people might know of it. There we go, there's CrookPeak. I literally climbed up over it when it was raining. I didn't go around it, I climbed over it. I went up it. I didn't stay long though, because it was windy and it was thick rain mist. And I knew I'd get soaked if I hung around too, but I would have had my picnic on the top. But I came down the back into Compton Bishop. It's a walk I love, and I've normally always done it in the sunshine and the heat. I always do it in the summer. But I didn't, I mean, it was mist. It was that penetrating mist, which we managed just to keep off getting right into my inner clothing. And I've dried off completely. I've left my cover over my pack now, and I'm dry now. There's only a little bit of damp, but a little bit of damp can actually get into your bones. So, but look at this lovely scene, everyone. Last week, I was over there on my gorgeous Quantock Hills, right over in the distance. And I said to myself, well, you're going to be over the Mendips next week. So here I am. Dowsbury Hill Fort in the distance. Not very defined today. Brent Knoll right in front of us. CrookPeak. Weston-super-Mare where I live. So we're on the waistline. I just feel so relaxed today. I'm feeling quite relaxed, chilled, comfortable. I did had a very small amount of indigestion, but with the sparkling water, it seems to do the trick. It seems to stop the colic. Brings the wind up after you've had something to eat. Anyway, before we carry on that track there, I just want to come over here to say goodbye to St Andrew's Church, which will be down here. Once I tried going down, I got really in a mess once when I went right over the edge here and ended up in thick bush and bramble. I couldn't move. I had to climb back up. It was awful. I learn the hard way a lot of the time. I do. Anyway, I can see the church. I can see the little Compton Bishop. It does spread out a bit, Compton Bishop, but there's the little tiny hamlet there. And the church. I haven't got a zoom on me, but St Andrew's is just down there. And I had a nice little wander around the graveyard. A nice little wander inside the church. Beautifully cared for. And I found the Wookiee grave again. There was more than one, but one was unreadable and had fallen over. But the big one, I took photos of it again. So I climbed up this combe earlier, not long ago, after leaving the church. And like I said, no one was expecting this day to be so grey, wet and windy. Nobody. But in many ways, I used to normally always do that walk in the heat. You know, I've always been out in the extreme heat doing what I've done today. So it's quite a change. I mean, very occasionally I would do I would do a walk here in the winter. I did do it sometimes. Nobody up there today, no picnickers. Over and out for a little while I rejoin the track. Right, short video. Got the wind facing me when I turn around in a minute, so that probably won't hear on the video. Going to the latter stages of the walk now. Straight over there, the end of my finger is Glastonbury Tor. I've taken various pictures of it, but with no zoom, but I can see it quite clearly with the naked eye. There's the Cheddar and Axbridge Reservoir, which looks quite low. There's Shoot Shelf Hill Aerial there. Right in the distance of the tall pine trees of the Rowbarrow Camp and Warren. And we're following on. And behind us, you can just about see CrookPeak for the last time now through past that tree there in the distance. Brent Knoll, of course. Bristol Channel, Quantock Hills. Lots of villages scattered about. Lots of villages. It's been a lovely walk. I've enjoyed it despite the weather being grey, beside that episode of mist rain. Fortunately it didn't last long. And a nice visit to the church, so that was quite good. You know, when I was round the other side, it wasn't windy. Once you go around the back there, there's no wind. Sheltered. You come round here and you face it again. Some people doing some work over there. Don't know what they're doing. Look like abseilers. No, there was a rock there. You could abseil. Anyway, I'm going to turn off because the wind will be catching the video. Just wait till we get to the corner. looks like this. Oh yeah, there's somebody doing a tiny bit of abseiling. Just a small bit of rock outcrop there. It's probably a small bit that you can learn to get the idea of, pick up the idea. I mean, I've done some abseiling over at Rock of Ages near Barrington Combe, or in Barrington Combe, a few years ago now. I've also abseiled up a tall tower, and we had to go inside the tower and climb a literal vertical ladder. That was more scary than coming down on the abseil. Climbing this ladder that was attached to a wall straight up. That was so scary. I did have somebody behind me encouraging me to get up there. Oh yeah, that's a little bit of, I've never noticed that before. There's a little outcrop there. The last stages of the walk now. Shelf Hill in front and Kingswood, where we've parked. This is Wavering Down, or this is, or up the top is. I can always get muddled up. Trig Point up there, and I walked up there at the start of the walk, and then back round the waistline. Not the baseline, the waistline. After being at CrookPeak and of course St Andrew's Church at Compton Bishop. This is the final stage of the walk now, which I walked up of course this morning, and it's been a very grey day, so all the photographs will not be very good. So I'm glad I didn't bring out the other cameras, because they certainly don't like it dull. Hint of the reservoir over there. Glastonbury, last sort of little picture of it there. Nylon Mound. And we'll be going down into Kingswood, which is looking extremely sad. And it used to be so beautiful. You'd think it would be at its best now, but it's not. All the trees are parched and are dying. There's no water. The big trees can't hold themselves up anymore. You know, it's just looking really, it used to be so beautiful. And of course, what happened when COVID came, armies of people, although you're supposed to keep your distance and all that, whole families used to come out together. You know, herds, I called them. And they just made all the little paths that were so sweet into great big tracks. This one's always been a bit wide. This one here. They have a lot of events on, don't forget. There's a lot of cycling events go on over here. But the little wood itself, Kingswood, just looks... They carved a lot of it up a few years back as well, which didn't help. They cut down some beautiful trees. Because of this, people are making money out of sport. I noticed when we come in, the cottage at the end, they've got a little cabin. Well, it's not a cabin, it's like a little place, you know, where you can put, some people put things out, you can pick up veg. This one, you can help yourself to tea, coffee, fizzy drinks, cake. You can pay by tapping your, you know, barcodes and all that. Scanning, and they do take cash as well. And they do, it's a display cabinet basically, but it's got a place where you can pour your own hot drink. And all that. And they do some nice fizzy drinks. I noticed there was a nice ginger beer that looked tempting. And they don't overcharge people either. Do you know what I mean? It's not rip-off. I won't bother today, but I can imagine there are people that will when they finish their walk. Bye, Glastonbury. I will visit soon. I've got lots of places to visit. I've still got family tree stuff to do, unfinished. I've got castles to visit. Winter will be here before I know it. Yeah, so we're entering the wood now. Just need somebody with a pink top on, which I haven't seen before. Just so you know, so we're entering the wood. Variety of trees. There were some really big old trees that, like I said, are looking very, very dry and parched. Keep to the fringe, sometimes it's less stony. See, look at this tree here, for example. I'm not quite sure what it is, but is it a maple? I'm not quite sure, but they're all looking dry. There's some big ones over there, really, really look parched, dehydrated. Another one here. They can hardly hold their branches up because they're so dry. The branches are just falling off a lot of trees, brittle. There's one there, for example. Look. You can't touch them. The ground just bone dry. Look at these are the roots from these reaching out to try and get some water. There just isn't any. This has got worse and worse. Like I said, this used to be a very well thought of wood. But of course, since the herds came, all this is widened. These used to be small little tracks. Now they're like highways for the herds. And oh, I think there's a fly trying to get me then. So, like I said, we'll go over there in a minute and see some really big trees. Over here. Just going to say hello to a few of them. There's just something sad about it. I think everything looks already diseased or withered or everything really. And of course, like I said, it's just widened tracks. There's a big tree here. He's struggling. He's really struggling, this big tree. Yeah, he's really struggling. There were more big trees, but I think they've been cutting them down. I wish they hadn't cut so many down, but they have. It's a big old tree. We're going to say hello to it. This one here. Big old tree. Hello, big old tree. Oh, yeah. You've got bigger roots, you might be alright. Doesn't look too bad. Right. Turning off a minute.